Hello. Thanks for rolling out your mat today. Let's get started in a cross-legged seat if that works for you, or take any seat where you can have a nice tall spine and allow your hips and sacrum to just sink into the earth. Close your eyes here and begin with the hands on the knees, but let's go ahead and flip our palms up to the sky. Bring your ring finger to your thumbs for a nice grounding mudra. And then take a deep belly breath in. Fill up the belly and slowly exhale it out through the nose. Deep breath in. Slow breath out. Let your shoulders soften, the elbows soften, and the face soften as you exhale. And then take another deep breath in. Exhale it out through the nose. One more deep breath in. And release that air out. Let's go ahead and come onto our backs. Feet into the sit bones. You want those feet, those ankles, to be directly underneath the knees, which are pointed up toward the sky. And then go ahead and tuck your shoulders under as the head roots into the earth. Bend the elbows, roll back the arms so the hands are straight up to the sky. Push the lower back down, push into the feet, lift the hips for a bridge pose. Activate the thighs, the hamstrings, the glutes here as you elongate the back. Push down into the triceps. Two more cycles of breath here. Push into the feet. And then lower each vertebrae to the earth. Supta Baddha Konasana. Soles of the feet come together. Knees butterfly open. You might use a block underneath each knee. You might use books if you have some books handy. And then go ahead and bring one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart. Close the eyes. Take a deep breath in. And a slow breath out. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. 3 more cycles of breath on your own. Draw the knees together. Separate your feet to the outer edges of the mat. You can take the arms out to a T or goal post the arms. And then allow the knees to release over to the right. It's a wide-legged twist here. Your gaze might make its way to the left, or you can keep the head looking up. Knees come back to center. Make sure the feet are at the outer edges of the mat, and then allow the knees to release to the left. Maybe the gaze goes to the right. Knees come back to center. Draw the knees into the chest, wrapping your arms around the shins, and take small circles to the right. Just 3 little circles here. And then reverse direction, 3 circles to the left. Good work. Release the left foot to the earth, cross the right ankle over that left thigh. Reach through for a supine figure 4, supine half pigeon, pulling that left thigh toward the body and allowing that right knee to push forward just a little bit. Lots of options here. You can straighten that leg, pull it closer to the body. You might keep that leg bent and then reach the hands for that left shin. It's really up to you, or stay with the original hand behind the thigh. Left foot comes back down to the earth. Reach the right leg straight up to the sky here. Feel the hips sink down into the mat. Right arm goes out to a T. Left hand reaches for the outside of that right leg. And then just pull that leg over to the left, keeping the hips square on the earth. You likely can only move it maybe 2 or 3 inches, and you'll feel that stretch in the IT band, which connects from the hip all the way down to the knee along the outside of that leg. Bring that leg back to center. Lengthen out that left leg on the earth. Bend the right knee along the ribcage and reach both hands for the sole of the foot. It's a half happy baby here. Pulling down, really feeling that stretch in the right hip and groin area. And then release the sole of the right foot to the earth, knee to the sky. And bend the left knee. Ankle crosses over that right thigh. Reach on through supine half pigeon here. Pulling that right leg a little closer to the body as the left knee pushes forward. Release the sole of the right foot to the earth. Left leg reaches straight up to the sky. Feel the hips sink down. Left arm out to a T. Reach the right hand for the outside of the left leg. And then go ahead and pull that leg across the body without lifting that left hip at all. Soften the torso, the shoulders, and feel that stretch along the outside of the left thigh. Leg reaches straight up to the sky once again. Right leg goes long on the earth. Bend the left knee alongside the outer rib cage. Hands come to the sole of the foot as you pull down. So that thigh is right alongside the body in a half happy baby. Listen to your cycle of breath. And then releasing that side, draw both knees into the chest, giving yourself a squeeze. And then rock and roll up to seated. Sukhasana, cross-legged seated position. Inhale, arms reach to the sky. Exhale, twist to your right. Left hand comes to the knee, right arm behind you, pushing into that hand to lengthen out the spine. Inhale, return to center, arms to the sky. Exhale, twist to your left, right hand to the knee, left arm behind you, tall spine. The last thing to turn is the head and the gaze. Return to center, arms reach to the sky. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Close your eyes here. Take a cycle of breath and gratitude, for someone or something in your day today. And a cycle of breath in forgiveness of yourself or of another. And a cycle of breath to set an intention, something that you can practice both on and off the mat. I am, maybe that's I am joy-filled. I am strong. I am kind. Opening the eyes, we'll make our way to a tabletop position. Hands will be directly underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips here. And we'll begin with a few cat and cows to warm up the spine. Inhale, lift chin, chest, and tailbone. Exhale, round the back, coming into cat pose, gaze to belly button. Push the shoulder blades up even higher, and then inhale, return to cow pose. Feel the belly stretch here. On an exhale, return to cat. One more time. Inhale, cow. Exhale, round for cat. Good work. Come to a neutral spine. Send that left leg long behind you. Slide the foot back. Toes are on the earth. Hips are square to the earth here. And then go ahead and spin the sole of that left foot. Take a little bit of a diagonal with the right shin. Left arm reaches to the sky for a side plank variation. Gaze can go up. Really root into that left foot so that you feel the stretch along the side of that left leg. And then maybe that top arm reaches overhead, bicep near the ear, palm faces down. And the left hand releases to the earth. Bring that knee back in. Inhale for a cow pose. Exhale, round to come into cat. Return to the neutral spine. Reach the right leg long behind you. Slide the foot back. Toes are on the earth. And just feel that stretch to begin with. Then spin the sole of the foot flat. Little bit of a diagonal with the left shin. Right arm reaches up to the sky. Side plank variation. And again, that right arm might reach forward. Palm faces down. Finding that length from fingertips to toes. And then release and return to tabletop position. Go ahead, separate the knees, sink the hips back to come into a child's pose. Forehead can come to the earth or a block. Let the elbows release onto the earth here, softening the arms. And taking a few cycles of breath here. And then we'll engage the arms by walking those hands forward, lifting the elbows, rising up to a tabletop, tucking the toes under, and then making your way to downward facing dog as you lift the hips to the sky. Maybe you pedal out your feet here. Really root into the fingertips more so than the base of the palm. Belly lifts to lengthen out the back side of the legs and lift the hips a little bit higher. Maybe that means that you bend the knees. Take another deep breath in and out. On an inhale, wave it forward to a high plank. Come to the knees. Shift your face forward. Lead with the chest and lower all the way down to the belly. Elbows are bending to the back of the room, so the hands are alongside the rib cage here. Toes are pointed back. Lift the knees, and on an inhale, lift the chin and chest for a cobra pose. Exhale to lower. Inhale, lift chin and chest. Really allow those shoulders to roll away from the ears. Exhale to lower. Inhale, lift chin and chest. Your feet are rooted down into the earth. Let's hold this. Shoulder blades fall towards the glutes. Lower down. Push back up to a tabletop. Tuck the toes under. Hips high, downward facing dog. Take another deep breath in and out. On an inhale, lift that right leg hip height. Feel the length. Maybe that left heel drops a little bit lower. On an exhale, step that right foot forward between the hands. Lower the back knee. Inhale, arms sweep to the sky. Hands can come behind the back as though they're going into some back pockets. Send the gaze up, squeeze the elbows together. So this is a nice shoulder opener, collarbone opener. And then you'll also feel a bit of a stretch in that left hip flexor, the front of the leg. On an inhale, sweep the arms back up to the sky, hips centered over that left knee. Exhale, twist to your right. Stay here in this twist, maybe sending the gaze to the right thumb. Inhale to return to center. Exhale, hands come down to the earth. Lift the back knee. Low lunge here. Root down into the left hand. Reach the right arm high for a low lunge twist. Feel the back of the left thigh lifting toward the sky here. Nice firm foundation. Top hand releases to the earth. We'll walk our hands over to the left, wide-legged forward fold. So as wide of a stance as you like here, and then allow the crown of the head to release toward the earth. You might stay at tall arms. You might bend the elbows. Shift your weight into the balls of the feet to really feel that stretch in the hamstrings, the back of the legs. And then the lower back is elongating here as the crown of the head releases down. Rise back up to tall arms. Walk the hands to the front of the mat, turning the toes. Step that right foot back, high plank. Release to the knees. Shift your face forward. Lead with the chest, lower down to the belly. This time we'll reach our hands toward our feet, palms face down. On an inhale, lift chin and chest. Lift the arms, and then go ahead and lift the legs as well. Locust pose here. Elongate the front side of the body. Rather than thinking about height, think about length. Draw the pelvic floor up and in. Lower down. Hands come underneath the shoulders. Push up to tabletop. Tuck the toes under. Hips go high. Downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Slow breath out. Inhale, left leg lifts, hip height. Maybe that right heel releases a little bit more. Push forward into the fingertips. On an exhale, step that foot forward between the hands. Lower the right knee to the earth. Arms sweep to the sky. Bringing the hands behind the back here, as though those hands are going into the back pockets. And then send the gaze up. Push forward into that left leg a little bit as you squeeze the elbows together behind you. Notice if your shoulders suddenly crept up to the ears. See if you can soften them. Inhale, arms reach back up toward the sky. Exhale, twist to your left. Really feel your right arm reaching forward and then counter that by reaching back with the left arm, centering your shoulders right over the hips. On an inhale, come back to center, arms to the sky. Exhale, hands to the earth, opposite sides of that front foot. Go ahead, tuck the back toes under, lift that right knee, root down into the right hand, reach the left arm high for a low lunge twist. Hand releases to the earth. We'll walk those hands over to the right side of the mat for another wide-legged forward fold. Go ahead, release the crown of the head toward the earth. Shift that weight into the balls of the feet once again. And remember, this is your body, so if you need a wider stance or a shorter stance, take it. Rise up to tall arms, walk the hands to the front of the mat, turning the toes, and then go ahead and step that right foot forward for a ragdoll. Feet are hip distance apart. Hinge forward from the hips. Bend the knees so deeply that your palms can come flat onto the earth. That way you can shift your weight into the balls of the feet, feeling very stable and steady. And then make a picture frame of the face, reaching for the insides of the elbows. Maybe you begin to straighten the legs, or maybe you don't. Swaying a little bit side to side here. Hands release to the earth. Take a halfway lift, bending the knees and lifting the head for a tabletop. And then on an exhale, fold. Come to a seat. Good. So we'll have our legs straight out in front of us here. I'll face you. Bend that right foot or right knee. Bring the sole of the foot inside the left thigh. Left foot flexes. Inhale, reach tall. Exhale to hinge forward. Lead with the chest. Your hands might reach for the sole of the foot. They might land alongside of the leg. Entirely up to you, but keep a nice long spine rather than rounding the back to lower the head. So think about reaching your forehead toward your foot. Slowly rise up. Cross the sole of that right foot over the left thigh. Left elbow hooks that right knee. Reach the right hand behind you for a twist. Come back to center. Reach that right leg long. Shake things out a little bit. And then we'll bend the left knee, bringing the sole of the left foot inside the right thigh. Arms reach to the sky. Lead with the chest and hinge forward. So the heart is actually reaching toward the pinky toe. Forehead reaching for the right foot. Slowly rise up, cross that sole of the left foot over the right thigh. Right elbow hooks that knee, reach back with the left hand to find your twist. Ooh, and I got just a nice little crack in my back. Beautiful. Coming back to center, take a nice wide-legged seat. And your wide-legged seat may not be very wide. I never feel like mine is very wide. Or it may be really expansive. Entirely up to your body, right? So from this wide-legged seat, let's go ahead and bend that right knee, bringing the heel into the groin. Torso twist towards that right knee. Slide the left hand inside of that left leg. Right arm reaches up to the sky. Bend the elbow, bring that hand behind the head. Send your gaze up. Open up the sternum. Feel this stretch along the right side of the body. See if you can allow that right hip to release toward the earth. Maybe that knee releases. Slowly rise back up. Come back to that wide-legged seat as you open up that right leg. And then draw the left heel in toward the groin. Go ahead and turn the torso toward the left knee. Allow that leg to release toward earth. Slide the right hand inside that right leg. Left arm up to the sky. Bend the elbow, bring that hand behind the head. Turning the sternum skyward. Slowly rise up. Come on to your back. We'll take an inversion. I like to have a block underneath my hips for my inversion, but that's up to you. Legs can come straight up to the sky. You could also take a shoulder stand. Block underneath the hips. The top of the block is kind of where that underwear line would be. Arms long at your sides here. There's a slight tucking of the shoulders. Let the palms face up. Inversions really allow the central nervous system to calm itself down. We'll release out of this inversion. If you have a block underneath you, bring the soles of the feet down so you can lift the hips and move that block off to the side. Supported fish pose is next, just to open up the heart and chest. So supported fish pose means that you have a block or maybe a rolled up mat or pillow underneath you. So again, if you are using a block, it's about 1 inch below where your bra would be. And just allow yourself to release over that block. Arms can be long at your sides. Feet can flop open, heels together. And of course, there are different heights for that block. So if you are feeling like this is not enough for you, then push down into the elbows to lift yourself up and bring that block to a medium height and see what that feels like. And again, another mat, if you happen to have a second mat, underneath the back and even under the head can feel amazing. I used to really despise this pose. It caused a lot of anxiety as you open up the heart. It can be really difficult for some people just to breathe in this pose. But as I practiced it over time, it definitely has become one of my favorite poses. Still not always fun to come out of, however. So to come out of the pose, we draw the elbows close to the body so that you can push into the elbows. Draw the belly in and push into the block as you slowly lift. The shoulders and the head come up last. Good. And then come on to your back. Draw the knees into the chest to give yourself a squeeze. Send that left leg long, right knee into the chest, and we'll go ahead and take a supine twist here. Twisting over to the left, gaze to the right. Come back to center, both knees draw into the chest, realigning the spine. Right leg goes long, and then twist on over to the right, gaze to the left. Come back to center. Give yourself a squeeze. And then release into Shavasana. We'll take a bit of a guided Shavasana today, just so that you can really allow your body to release. So begin by just noticing your feet are a bit wider than your hips, and your arms are out wide enough that it gives your armpits room to breathe. Allow your heels to sink into the earth. Let the ankles release and the calves melt into the mat. Feel the muscles along the knee joints let go, and the thighs become heavy. Send some breath into the pelvic floor so that the right hip can release, and then the left hip. The entire lower body is heavy and relaxed on the earth. See if you can soften the low back and then the mid back. Feel the muscles that support each vertebrae release, and let the upper back soften as the shoulders release into the earth. The right arm becomes heavy, and then the left arm. The elbow creases soften. Tension releases from the forearms and the wrists. Soften the palms and allow the fingers and the thumbs to release and relax. Let go of any tension in the neck and see if you can soften the jaw, creating space between the teeth and between the teeth and the cheeks. Send your breath right through the sinus passages and allow there to be some space between the eyebrows. Letting the ears soften. And eventually sending your breath right through the crown of the head. Taking a few moments to simply breathe and relax. And then you awaken the body by moving the head side to side, finding movement for the toes and the fingers. Arms extend overhead for a full body stretch. Bend the knees on an exhale and roll to your right side, using your arm as a pillow. Pushing up into a cross-legged seated position, Sukhasana. Back to where we started our practice. We'll bring our hands to our knees, palms face up, ring finger to thumb. Take a deep breath in. Press the air out. Inhale. Exhale. Deep breath in. Release. Draw the thumbs to third eye center. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings everywhere be happy and free. Bowing forward. Namaste. Thanks for joining me today. I hope your body feels great, and we'll see you again next time.